Hi, everyone. I'm Gwen Polakowski.
Hi everyone, I'm Vandot Sutudenia.
We're happy to be back with you for Business Quest's micro learning modules. This is Module 3, where we talk about accounting apps and registering your business. Welcome back. So in case you haven't met Vandad before, I'm sure you have, but he is the business advisor for ISS of BC's Business Quest program. So, Vandad, I'm going to ask you, today we need to talk and think about kind of the paperwork that's involved in having a small business. There's not actually that much paper per se anymore, but there still is a lot of forms, and we're filling out a lot of them on the computer or on the internet. So a lot of that is related to invoicing or keeping expense records, and also registering our businesses with the government for tax purposes and other reasons. So let's start out with the basic paperwork that we need to do for money and managing them on an accounting app. So when I started my business, there were two things that I was really focused on. One was invoices, and one was keeping track of expenses, like pieces of paper, often from, buying people coffee for information interviews or something like that. Let's think about our person, Mina, who wants to start a cupcake business.
Mm-hmm.
She's going to have sort of similar needs to what I did. Could an accounting app be helpful for her?
Okay, that's a good question. And I know I already heard a lot of time from me. It's the word "it depends" or saying doing the research or understanding your needs, but that's something you always have to do. Here, yes, accounting apps are great. So, but again, it depends. Depends on, okay, you have to define what is your need when it comes to your financials, because it's very important for you to monitoring and managing your invoices, keep track of your expenses, and this is a part of the regular life of the self-employed person. Maybe you have an inventory, so maybe for that inventory you need a kind of the software to address the solution for inventory problem or needs you have. So you have to define your financial needs in order to get to the point to decide what is the right product, accounting product for you and for your business. And one thing is very, very important. Remember, you have to monitoring every financial part of your business, because not only for the taxation, because it all depends on your financial to can see if you can grow or can survive in the market or not. So it always depends on your need. If your needs force you to get to the point you need to kind of the new application, that application is necessary, then you have to go and find a solution for that. If there is no need for it, you don't need it. But overall, they are great. They are a great feature. You can use them. When you define your need, you can decide it's right for you or not.
And I guess, your accountant might have something to say too that would be helpful.
That's true. A small business or big businesses doesn't matter. All the businesses in Canada, most of them, they have an accountant. You're going to work with somebody to doing your accounting paperwork, and those people are expert. Those good people are going to use the information you're going to provide them through the financial and through your accounting application or accounting solution service to generate your taxation or finalizing your accounting papers. So it's a very good idea to talk about your solution, to talk about your need, and talk about what is necessary and decide together, because it's going to be like a teamwork at the end. It's better to have a similar idea about this, about the need, about the problems or challenges you're facing, because you're going to solve or address those challenges together. So talking to your accountant is the first step. So always do the research, define your needs, and then talk to your accountant and decide it together.
Okay, well said. But I have to say that sometimes having an accounting app can make life a lot simpler because you can do your invoicing, for instance, while you're on the SkyTrain.
That's true. You know, that's the beauty of the again accounting app. So most of us has very smart and very useful devices. We call it a smartphone. A smartphone comes with the applications, and this is a very strong computer. So you can use it on the benefit of doing your financial paperwork or using it for the financial application to monitor or to record your transactions or sending invoices. Okay, imagine this. You're going to wake up in the morning before having a breakfast. You can grab your phone, open it, and send the invoice to your client. When you're sitting in a SkyTrain, you can open your application and track your invoices. You can see how much money you have to pay to your contractor. You can see how much money you have to collect from some of your clients. So everything can be easy on your hand because you have a smartphone, and the application is sometimes can be very helpful. Again, depends on what is your need. And if you need to have something like that, then that's a good solution. Overall, applications are very, very useful, and they have a very good features. So if you need it, you can use it.
One of those really good features too is, having a connection to your bank, right? So that you can accept online payments from your customers, credit cards or bank transfers.
Yeah. These days, many of the accounting solution companies, they provide online payment. It can be through your bank system. Some of them provide even credit card. So you can use them through the system. They accept credit card. And again, there are many, many different products in the market. It depends on what you need. But again, as you mentioned it, they can be done everything financial from the sending invoice to receive the money through your application.
I guess it just depends if you need it and how much it costs. But
exactly.
There are some free there's a wide range of apps available, I guess. Maybe you can tell us about a few of them.
Sure. That's why my recommendation is always talk to your accountant, because there are some free application. They don't charge you for any accounting services they provide. And some of them only charge you if you're using the credit service, the credit card service, and even the cost of them is equal to other services. If you want to have there are several companies in Canada, they provide credit card services if you want to charge somebody with a credit card. So in this application have the same price, but they are free if you want to use them just for accounting. And that's why I always recommend to talk to your accountant before making the final decision. There are many, many different products. We have a QuickBooks, which is very popular. The application is very good. Many people use it in the market. We have a Sage 50, is a kind of the professional one. Again, is popular too. We have Wave, it's free. It only charge you if you're using the credit cards service they provide. And we have a ZipBooks. There are many other brands and companies that provide accounting solution for you. That's why I always recommend to find what is your need, talk to your accountant, and make a decision together.
Can accounting apps help you with, beyond the paperwork, but with, kind of thinking about your business, with budgeting and forecasting? Are they helpful for that, or are they mostly about the paperwork?
No, they are really helpful when it comes to the budgeting and even for the forecasting. Because remember, you're going to manage all your financial through your accounting service. So any money in, any money out, any number. So those things going to be stored in your accounting solution software, so you can have access to it. Yes, different companies, different solution have some features maybe can be more helpful when it comes to the budgeting, or more useful or more visual when you want to check your cash flow or your balance sheet. So it always depends of the product. Different products have a different dashboard or different reporting system, but almost all of them have something. And again, it depends on what you need and what you actually want to see as a solution. But remember this, at the end, these are all tools, and how to use it or how beneficial they are is up to you and your accountant.
Hmm. Okay. Coming back to Mina, let's say that she decides with her accountant that she's going to have some kind of an app. How is she going to use it? How would you imagine with her cupcake business that she would use an app?
Okay, let's the assumption number one. Mina did a very good job for the research. She knows what she needs, and she decided to have a one accounting solution which comes with the application. And she talked to the accountant. Accountant said that's correct. That's the one we can use, and it's finalized. And now she has a one cell phone with the application. So she's going to be busy. As the owner of the cupcake shop, she's going to be a busy person, and she literally cannot afford to lose track of the business finance. So the good news is she has a powerful pocket-sized computer in her hand, the smartphone. All she has to do is just go and open that application, check the receipts she has to pay, send the invoices to the clients during the lunchtime, or just go and check to see how's the cash flow or how much money she owed to the contractors. All of them from that application. And remember, when you buy something, the receipt could be loose, could be just a piece of paper. So it's very important to record it as soon as possible. And most of these applications have a feature you can take a picture and record it from the applications. And again, talk to accountant to be sure what you need. Maybe you need to keep the hard copy or not hard copy. That's why you need always talk to your accountant to be sure. Don't just recording that doesn't necessarily mean it's fine, but double check it with your accountant to be sure. But that's a good thing. You can run everything from your cell phone through that application and get everything done for the financial part of your business.
Okay. Thank you, Vandad. I think we've had a really good kind of tour through the possibilities of accounting apps. And now we're going to take another tour. We're going to have a look at registering your business. So we're going to go through the steps that you need to do for this. But Vandad, the very first question that we need to ask is this really necessary? I know a lot of the people who are watching this right now are probably already in the wonderful position of getting some self-employment work. Maybe they are teaching piano lessons. Maybe they are doing, selling cupcakes. Maybe they have a comedy act. I don't know. There are so many possibilities that just come to people and they don't have a formal business setup or registration. Is it okay to accept the money and keep doing your business even without, a real business name and setup in place?
Yeah, that's a good question. That's a very common question. So the answer is, as an individual, you don't need to register a business name. You can always conduct a business under your own personal name. So the answer is, again, not necessary. But registration for the solo or partnership has some of the benefits. So, example, if you want to marketing, you're going to have a name, can marketing your brand with it. Or if you want to receive payments or doing the bank papers, you can use it under your business name. So it has their own benefits. It depends to the person. But the answer is no, you don't need to have it to start a business or run your own business.
Okay. In order to access the benefits, though, we do need to register a business and a business name. So let's talk about how exactly that is going to happen. So what do you do first?
So first of all, before even the name is really important. You need to know the name. But remember, you have to understand your business and the structure of your business. So we have a 3 different business structure in Canada. We have a solo, we have a partnership, we have a corporation. So um, you have to understand each of them. They have a benefit, have a disadvantage and advantage. So they're going to answer the specific needs for individuals. So you have to understand how this system works, what's the benefit, excuse me, and then you can decide about your business structure. So after deciding business structure, so it's time for the name. So for a name, we have a very, very easy setup to use it. It's through the government of the British Columbia. They have a website. You can go there step by step, going to help you to understand the steps you need to take to register your name. You're going to research your name, find out if your name is available or not. If it's available, you're going to submit the request. You can submit up to 3 names. So from the number 1 to 3. So they're going through the names and they're going to pick up the one is more matched with the criteria they have. So it's better to put the one you like at the first of the list and then second and third one. And after receiving approval, you can go and easily register your name. Everything happens online. Plus, you can do it in person too. We can go through all step by steps. And they have a fee structure. And we're going to provide a link for you to see how much going to cost you for the structuring of the names. And yes, that's basically the whole structure.
Okay, sounds good. And that's all freely accessible on the website that you've shown us.
Yes.
The next issue I think that we need to talk about is registering with WCB. Now, again, do you need to do this? Is this essential?
So for WCD, it depends again. So usually the answer for many of the questions in business is it depends. So all the employers are legally required to have a WorkSafe BC coverage unless the employer is exempt. An employer is a person or firm that hires workers. So if you're hiring somebody, you need to have a WCB. If you have a solo and no one hiring and just working for just one person and you have your own business, no, you don't need it. You can register it, you can apply for it, but it's not necessary for you if you are the only person running your business. So the answer is if you're a solo operator of your business, it's not necessary for you to register it, but it has its own benefit. And you go to the structure, we see if you are eligible to apply for that.
Okay, sounds good. And then the next step after WCB is the Canadian Revenue Agency, CRA. Yes. So for paying taxes, so income tax and GST. Okay. Sorry, go ahead.
No, yes, that's a big question because many of the newcomers to Canada, they don't know about our tax system. We had a very, very well organized, structured tax system in Canada. CRA is responsible for the tax system in Canada, and we have a different tax. We have a GST, we have a PST, and it is confusing at the beginning. So if you go to each of these tags in the website of the CRA, it's going to explain you exactly what does it mean, what kind of form you need to fill up, or how you need to register it. But just to make it very simple, for the GST usually applies to the business, if you are a small business and you are in 1 year, your revenue is less than $30,000. So basically, you don't need to have a GST because CRA is going to see you as a small business. But if you go over $30,000 every year as a revenue, then you have to apply for a GST. This is a very simple way. It's a very simple way to explain it. But you have to go through the website. You have to read it. It's very clear. They have a table. You're going to explain. Going to ask a question, and it's going to explain if you are a small business with this size of the revenue, then then you need it or not. If you are a small business, you have it this size of a revenue, then you need to have it or not. So it's very clear to understand it. For PSC, again, same structure. Some services they need to have a PSC, some not. They have a list of it. They give you example to understand it. So if you have to go through that list, okay, your business in that field is going to be necessary for PSC or not. Going to very easily explain it to you. So there are the links. There are very clear example can help you to understand your tax related to your businesses.
Okay, that sounds good. Now, you mentioned that there's a lot of information available out there. Some of that information comes to us through what I'm going to call supportive agencies. So, for instance, Small Business BC or Women's Enterprise Center or Futurepreneur, they are all, working to help small business to grow and start. And similarly, and we're going to talk about them more in depth later on, but similarly, banks and financial institutions as well are very supportive for small business people. Can you talk to me a little bit about banks and credit unions?
Sure. We see bank as a way we managing our financial and our money movements. But banks are more than that. Financial institutions are more than that. They are providing financial products and services, and it could be answer to your business needs, or can answer to your personal needs. So it's very important from the beginning to understanding who's going to be the best partner for you. In British Columbia, for example, we have credit unions and we have banks. In Canada, we have credit unions and we have banks. And each of these sections have a very good share of the market when it comes to the providing service products for the small businesses. So far, from the small business perspective, credit unions are more popular than banks in British Columbia. They have, again, some benefits. I'm not going to call it advantage or disadvantage here because they're providing different service and products for the different clients. So it's up to you to understand what you need and which is the best possible solution product for you. I just give you one simple example about understanding, because that's a common question. People, they understand what's the difference between bank, what's the difference between credit unions, and why some small business prefer credit unions over banks, or banks over credit unions. So very clearly, just to make it understand these two, credit unions are basically most of them non-profit organization. Banks are for private organization. So responsibility for the credit unions are for the members, and the banks trying to provide making the profit. But that's how the structure work here. When it comes to the credit unions, they both of them usually have the same product and services, but again, depends to the size of your business, could be different. The amount of the loan could be different, the line of credit amount could be different. So saving account interest rates are different rates. For example, most of the time unions are higher than banks, but the service they provide as banks are higher than the credit unions. So it's very good. It's very important to understand what is your financial needs from the business perspective. And because I know many of the people are starting a small business are the solo or partnership, so personal financial needs are very important too. So look at from both these two perspectives and to find the right partner for your financial, because you're going to be partner for a long time. It's going to be part of your business. They're going to be here for you, for helping you to grow and get bigger and bigger. So it's very good understanding what service they can provide. And remember, there are always account managers. So go talk to them, understand, ask a question as much as possible. That's okay. You are here to pick a partner, and learning more is better. So it's okay to ask a question and talk to the account managers.
And I think that's like one aspect of Canadian culture that might be different for a lot of people who are just new to the country, but we really value asking lots of questions, right? And people are
Exactly.
happy to give you the answer. So any question, you
Exactly.
have.
And remember that a small business is a very important part of the economic system of the Canada. So Scotiabank, RBC Bank, TD Bank, any bank you name, they have a product for you. They have a product for your business. They have a product for a personal life. Credit unions like Van City, they have a products for you. So they have a big basket of service and products, and you need to talk to them understanding which one is right for you to pick the right one.
Yeah, I think one of the things that has been really meaningful for me as I've learned more about self-employment is just how valuable it is to the economy in Canada, and how, as a result of how valuable it is, how much support there is. So when people start their own businesses, they give themselves a job, they give other people a job. And, it's so valuable and so important to our economy.
That's true. That's why most of these financial institutions going to provide some we call it free advice or free information, just because they're going to help you to get a better understanding about the business environment, because at the end we all want you to grow. If you are going to successful business man or woman are going to be starting very successful business at a firm, you're going to get to the point to improve the economy of the Canada. And that's why, regardless is a bank or credit unions, we all want you to grow, right? And they want you to grow because that's going to be the partnership. You become more successful, they're going to become more successful. They have a good information, they have a good materials. And if you go through their website, you can find most of them have a page for the small business or entrepreneurs. And there are good materials. They're going to help you to have a better understanding about their own products, at the same time about the environment you're going to run your business in. So it's a very good place to start your research, to understanding your needs and the answers to your needs and possible products for your needs in the market.
So from what we've talked about today, I have 3 takeaways again. So number 1, I think every small business person has to really have a sense of what his or her financial needs are in terms of taking care of the accounting and the business aspect. And number 2, he or she should talk to an accountant about whether an app is necessary or useful, and which one would work well with integrating with the services the accountant provides. And then number 3, we learned some really interesting things about GST, and that you don't necessarily have to register to collect GST if you're what's called a small supplier. And anyone can find out more information about that just by looking on the CRA site. So those are my 3 takeaways.
That was great.
Okay. Anything more you want to add?
No, that's all.
Okay, we're good to go. Thank you very much, Vandad. Great to talk with you again.
Thank you. I really appreciate it, and have a lovely day.
Yeah, and to everyone else, thanks for listening, and we look forward to seeing you in Module 4, when we're going to talk about having a side hustle, small business, at the same time as you work in a full-time job. So get some rest before that one, because that is going to be busy. Thanks, everyone. Bye.